Hello everyone and welcome to episode 13 of the Ashes Cricket Player Career Mode on the Xbox One with Joe Root. Today it's time, as you can see, for episode 13 as I said before, but we're starting with England's tour of New Zealand with this first of the second, no, not first of the second, I've just completely buggered this up, but oh well, we'll run with it. The first of two test matches against New Zealand in New Zealand, and the first one being at Wellington Park. In fact, both of them are at Wellington Park, which is a bit bizarre, but oh well. Now, obviously, we left the last episode after playing the one-day internationals, and today's episode is meant to be, oh, let's play the 2020s against Australia. Now, it didn't quite work out like that, because I recorded episode 13, which is the two T20s against Australia, which were to be played in... Oh, brilliant, the calendar's just gone, it's vanished, brill. Well, we did play. I'm just seeing if we can find it. Well, we've got Tours of England. That's all very nice. I don't quite know where it's going to go, but it's probably because it's a new season, to be fair. But basically, we recorded those two games against Australia, lost them both. I was going to bring it out. I was going to do, the New Zealand games for today's episode, but I managed to do all the audio correctly and then not export it. I realised I hadn't saved it, and I thought, oh god, I've got no way of releasing this. So I thought, you know what, let's just simulate the New Zealand games, the two T20s, because basically it was a tri-series, and Australia had already really won because they'd beat New Zealand in one of the games, and I thought, you know what, let's just go straight forward to the test series. So we've got the two test matches against New Zealand. We've just been offered the captaincy for the new season in the county cricket game, but as you can see, we've got two test matches, and then we've got I think it might be 5 one-day internationals, and then we've got Pakistan's tour of England, more Pakistan, and then we start the England County Cup, which actually we've took the captaincy for, but we won't be able to be a part of these games that Yorkshire have got in the next few weeks, which is a real shame, but I would always prioritise England duty over county duty. It's just natural, really, but there we go. But we haven't had a test match for a long time. I still don't know why it's doing this with my controller. It's really annoying me. But we haven't done this for a while. We'll go with default just so it's quite distinctive what each team are wearing. But we haven't played a test match. It's probably about episode 6 or 7, I'd say. So actually we played the 5 one-dayers, and we're back to test cricket today. It'll be interesting to see whether the squads are any different for this game from what they were in the Ashes test series. Hopefully they are, because it would be a bit interesting to see who comes and goes out of the squad, especially if this continues past 2018, whether the likes of Anderson and Broad might drop out in favour of those like Jake Ball, Toby Rowland-Jones. Obviously Tom Curran doing brilliantly in the one-day international series against Australia in real life. Really impressive stuff. But I haven't done any test match batting for a while, so it's going to be quite bizarre to do. But I do prefer the test match cricket, because as I've said before in these episodes, I believe it's the real type of cricket, is test match cricket. But that's just my opinion, but I feel that it's the best type of cricket anyway. And I think it's the purest form of cricket, I would say. But we're nearly ready to go. We're continuing for the match, obviously away from home again at Wellington Park. Let's have a look at the teams. Hopefully it's not the same. I probably bet it will be, though. Will the teams ever come up? Let's have a look. And yeah, it's exactly the same team. That's annoying. And for some reason, one of their bowlers is starting number 1, Ambrose Marsh. Now, unfortunately, I don't think... I don't recognise any of the players out of that. Basically, the Australia and England teams are licensed, but none of the other teams are. So, basically what you've got the England team, then you've got complete randomers on the New Zealand team, and the Indian team, Pakistan team. As you can see, the New Zealand guy is really small. So we'll just have to pretend, really, I suppose. We can't do much about it. But New Zealand have got fake players, basically, if you want to put it like that. But unfortunately, we've kept with the same squad for this test, so it's a little bit annoying. But we can't really do much about it. So Mick Harper, he's going to come into bat for, bowl rather, for the New Zealanders. And then Cook and Stoneman start. Stoneman's gone for 1. And they've got a good partnership going, but Vince has gone for 30 and 21 overs in. We come in at 90 for no wicket. So Cook scored 59 off 58 balls, and in comes Wakasar, I'm not quite sure. And it's going to be our first delivery, and he comes. And that's quite a poor hit, actually, to start us off. Not a great hit, but that's a weird hairdo. Certainly a weird hairdo. But, I'm not going to question it. It's a little bit like Stark. Not his hairdo, he's bowling. But I don't know. Not quite, maybe. But what's the word? As quick. That's alright. But our first runs, I thought it might have been a 4. But it will just be 3 runs. Poor fielding from the New Zealanders in the end. In fact, we could have got 4 out of that. But it wasn't to be, and we get 3 out of it. So, I can really see that you guys are enjoying this series so far, which is really good to see. And yeah, really, you know, it's good to see that because I enjoy recording it. It's a bit of a faff to record it, I think you might say, because, well, it's not a faff, but I would just say that maybe it's a bit tricky recording this on FM as well. But I do really enjoy it, hence why I continue it. And you know, we're well into the sort of tens of episodes, but in reflection, I completely forgot that the teams were licensed. You know, I thought I might. Show a little bit less of the test match stuff and maybe a little bit more of the county stuff because I think the county teams are licensed in this. Obviously, you know, the players from England and Australia anyway, being licensed to their own teams. And I'll tell you what, this Harper is really doing my head in bowling stupid bouncers in which we're never going to be able to hit. But we're obviously the captain for England and they've offered us the chance to be captain for the one-day matches against Pakistan as well. So maybe after Owen Morgan's poor performance against Australia in the on-day internationals, maybe they put us captain. They put us captain for the T20s as well. So that's an interesting development. But we might just skip the T20s, etc. because I'm not too bothered about those. As I said before, my main priority is the Test cricket. Now, it looks like Harper is a medium pace bowler, I would say, because it doesn't have the same feel. It comes a bit slow to the bat, 63 mile an hour, and the play's a little bit slow. Whether that's the New Zealand feels or what, it just doesn't feel quite right. But we're getting a decent run rate off this over. You know, 8 runs so far, and we've missed another one of the stupid bounces. So I just cannot hit bouncers. Apparently early timing. Well, I don't quite know where you're supposed to hit it because I hit it straight before it come on the bat. So that's a bit confusing. But Cook's still in, 60 off the same amount of balls. And here comes Waxacker again to see what he can do. And he comes. Oh, it's another stupid bouncer. I'll tell you what, if they keep going bouncer to us, sure, we're never going to hit anything. Because I just can't hit them. Unless it kind of goes in as an edge, which you don't really want. And he comes again. That's just going to be the one. I think goes straight to the fielder, and Cook is back on strike. 60 off the same amount of balls. Really good run rate from Cook. But 60 off 63. He hasn't scored off those 3 balls. And here comes Ambrose Marsh. For his first overs of the day. Apparently he's first batsman, so that's going to be interesting. In he comes. That's not a very good first ball at all. It's gone straight to the bat. And that, even though that won't be 4, it should be at least 2. And it is going to be exactly 2. So 106 off these 24 overs. Pretty impressive run rate of 4. If we can get that going a little bit now, that would be really good. And I think from what it was saying before, we're rank 3 in the world and New Zealand are rank 6. So we should definitely be able to beat New Zealand. That's never going to be a shot that we can hit. It's a wide. And that is absolutely a wide. But we should be able to beat New Zealand in these 2 test matches. It'd be quite a good confidence builder for the squad. Oh, dearie me, that was close. Bad shot choice, really, I suppose. But we should be able to beat them, you know. And really, you could call this as Captain Goodspeed World on Cricket Captain, the road to world number 1. In we come again. And that should be 2. The fielder has to run after it. And it might well go to the boundary quite quick along the outfield. And it has gone to the boundary. That's quite impressive stuff. As you can see, straight across the ground. The bowler was too slow. The umpire very kindly and courteously moves out the way. And even though the fielder runs quite quick, as you can see, it kind of bounces along straight to the boundary. Which quite amusingly is still a Cricket Australia boundary. But there we go. That's what the game's licensed for. And, you know, there's not really a lot we can do about it. Just roll with it, folks. Going to try the same again. Oh, it's hit the wicket this time. That's a bit disappointing. So that's just going to be the 1 run. And Cook is back on strike. So 7 off our 4 balls. And he's just got 1 as Cook. That's very much appreciated. So we're back in again. In comes Marsh. Ooh. See, I hate these bounces. I keep saying every single episode I don't like bounces. It's not nice at all. But Cook scores a further 3 off that ball. Hence why we're back in. And it's not quite nice not have the pressure having to chase anything too ridiculous or anything like that. You know, it's quite, I wouldn't say slow paced, but, you know, an ideal pace for what I like to play. And you can just chill with this sort of thing, hit the odd run, but there's not too much pressure on you should you miss a ball. Obviously, there really are the only pressure if you are out. But with Saka's getting rid of, they're really good at these, what are they called? These bouncers. And he's really starting to annoy me. But then he comes again. That's more of a nice hit. That should be 2. No, it's not. We're just going to risk the 1. Well, we're not going to risk the 1. We're not going to risk the 2, rather. There. But Cook, 60 out of 67. It's quite a good end to the over, clearly, for him. And in we come again. I feel like getting the ball a bit lofted around, because saying that the field's quite defensive. It's not short. So we might have to take a bit of a risk to do that. But a lovely hit Marsh conceding 9 off his first over. This is going to be quite a risk. Can we get to the there? Yes, we can quite easily. Can we get to the there? Yeah, no, brilliant. We can get to the crease, and we've still scored 22 off 19 balls, which is quite impressive. Can we get to our 50 today? That'd be brilliant stuff. In comes Marsh again. Oh, lovely. We've hit a bouncer for once. That's quite incredible. But it seems on the right, where we've been hitting it there, and the field's quite slow. However, if you hit it sort of straight, unless it hits the wicket, as we've seen before, you should be able to get to the boundary, which is quite nice. In comes Marsh again. Oh dear, we're not going to get that whatsoever. It's just gone straight past. And I reckon we can get 2 here. No, we're not actually. Bring Cook back. And that's just going to be the 1 by. In fact, we would have been able to get the 2 because they went for the far wicket, which is a bit stupid. It was a 1 wide anyway. And Cook getting 60 out of 71. Looks like a bit of a grey sky here at the moment. And in comes Suman from the other end. 63 overs left today. In he comes. Looks like a fast bowler. Oh dear, that's not a nice hit at all. And we face 150 deliveries now out of our 1300 target, which is always nice. But it's quite a tough wicket here, it seems. We're not really getting too many runs. We're certainly not abusing the New Zealand fielders, but that's going to be tricky. And luckily, we escape with the 1. But Cook, very impressive stuff. I was just going to say, well, Cook's going to get run out at some point or something like that. And he has been run out 71 off 76. And in reflection, it's been a bit of a poor start, you know. Stoneman and Vince not doing well. And it's 137 for 3, which New Zealand, I'm sure, would be quite happy with. So we're just going to go with the 1 there. Let Malan go on strike with the last ball of the over. And as the best player in the Ashes series in real life, hopefully, he can get a bit of a run going. As you can see, Stoneman gone for 1 off those 8 balls at the start. It's not a great wicket to lose at the start whatsoever. And hopefully we can recuperate this game a little bit. That's not very good at all. We're not doing very well, you know, at the moment. Whether that's moving to hard difficulty or whether it's not playing the game so much, we're not quite having the knack that we used to. In comes Marsh. Nice stuff. That's gone straight past the infield and could go to the boundary. It looks like it might well do, and it has gone to the boundary. 30.5, 25. Lovely stuff. We'll try going down there again. Why not? In comes Marsh. Bit of a poor bowling record, I think it's fair to say. Lovely one again. Is it just going to do the same? Seems a little bit slower, but it should get to the boundary quite easily, and it does again. And that's perfect for us. I'm quite happy for this. I'm quite happy to keep getting 4s. 950 runs scored this series so far. It's quite impressive, actually. Out of about 14 games. If one thinks about it. Probably exaggerated by that 190 we got against Australia, of course, in that 1 innings. I can't remember that one. I think it was 190. Because it was spread over 2 episodes, if you can remember. And we were going to get our 200. We were caught on 190, so that's a bit sad. But we're getting the runs in quite easily here. But I don't... Is that one going to get for 4? I think it is. But the fielders really haven't got the intelligence. Oh, they have escaped 4. Credit to them. But it's still going to be 3. But the fielders really should be on that boundary if we're going to keep going for it. Will Malan go for it? It's a worry. Well, it's not a worry, but it's a wonder whether he will. But it looked like he didn't. Just a dot ball. And we are back in again for Suman. So here we go. 41 off 28 balls. Very aggressive stuff, which is nice to see. No way we're going to hit that. That's going straight down the right-hand side, and it's a wide. I can hear the commentator saying it's a wide. That's the first and last Australian impression you'll ever hear me do. In comes Suman again. Good stuff. That should be 2, but it's not going to be because it goes straight to the field, so it's going to be the 1. The umpire nearly gets in the way there, and I wouldn't have minded it if he did get in the way, you know. But he gets another single, does Malan. And in Suman comes again. If we can get our 50, we feel a bit more secure. Good stuff. That should be 2. No, it shouldn't. It's just... I think I've said... Probably have a countdown in the corner. How many times... Oh, it's going to be 2. Never mind, it's just 1. But, you know, it gives Malan a bit of time to bat. And 11 off 14 balls. A bit more comfort now. And, oh, God, here comes the spin bowlers. This is going to start to get interesting now. Very interesting. In he comes. That's not a bad shot, is it, to start us off? That certainly tells New Zealand, haha, you ain't bringing a spin bowler on again. I thought, you know what, let's just go for it. I won't say anything to you guys, I'll keep it nice and silent. And what a lovely hit that was, straight down the ground. We're not going to do it again, though, because if it goes wrong, I don't want to be the culprit. In comes McCalman again. Oh, crap. That was close. Went straight to him. Good reactions from McCalman there. Do we go for it again? I'm just a bit fearful, to be honest. In he comes. Oh dear, that's close. And the wicket-keeper just doesn't care. He's running around like a right headless chicken. But 6 off the start of the over. And I think the bowler's going, right, let's be a bit more calm, shall we? And he comes again. We've gone for it again. Not quite as good, definitely not. And we're going to go for quite a risky 2 here. Can we? Oh, luckily it comes up the far end, which is really going to disadvantage the New Zealanders, because we could have easily got Milan run out there. But a strike rate of 145 means we move on to our 50. And I'm quite happy with this left finger spin bowler coming in. That was close. 8 off the over though still. Can we add to that with a few more runs at the end of the over? I'd love to. In comes McCalman again. Lovely hit. Is that going to get to the fielder though? It is, and it's caught. I knew it would happen if we went for it again. Ah, dearie me. We've gone for 51 against New Zealand, and really, that is a big wicket for the New Zealanders. We went for it for the second time of the over, but there was a fielder on the boundary. Didn't quite make it over the boundary, and the fielder gets to it. So it's 160 odd for 4, and it's going to be really tricky for them to recover this now. But I'd say us and Cook have done our bit, and that looks like it's the end of the session. That's bizarre. Anyway, Bairstow comes in, and we're just going to simulate until the end of our wicket, and we'll see how we get on. But Bairstow and Milan doing decently, and we are all out for... Ali's doing really well, by the way. All out for 384. That's not too bad whatsoever. Credit to our later batsman anyway. I think it was Ali who got about 80 there. Let's have a look. Ali got 65, Bairstow 77, and Broad 19. It's not too shabby at all. 4 overs left in the day. You know, we're going to skip it after each over. And we're going to field for the last over, you know, who cares? Marsh, who's meant to be this bowler, is not doing badly, you know, we're in the slips. And Broad's going to bowl to Marsh. Be lovely to take an early wicket. In comes Broad. And that goes straight to us. Alright, oh, that's a bit weird. Alright, can we get... Hello? Huh. Yeah, I shouldn't really field, should I? Disaster. Right, at least that was a single, not a single, a dot ball. In comes Stewart again. Runs up. And he doesn't even bother hitting it. So, I can guarantee this over. They're just going to probably just leave it, basically. But they've got a good partnership for the first wicket. Credit to them. Jesus Christ, they have. And Wildermuth scores 141. And it looks like they're going to really beat our first innings, you know. But they're having a bit of a collapse. Not a bit of a collapse, but a slight collapse. But we come back in at 88 for 2, leading by 10 after 2 wickets. Deary me. Luckily, Stoneman, though, is 38 off 50 balls. And that's where we are going to leave it. So let's have a quick look at the New Zealand innings. 141 for Wildermuth and 81 for Griffin. Really helped them out. But we're in a real precarious situation because we've got to get a really good inning into our hands to win this match. So if you have enjoyed, folks, I have been TIJ, and I will see you on Saturday for the end of this test match. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.